Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Multivac. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to check that out before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the video. Now, if we jump into the daily chart, the last time we had a video on Multivac was a week ago, and as you can see, what we're doing right now is we're running into the 55 daily EMA constantly. So the 55 is the red line, obviously, over here, and the 20 EMA is the yellow line for those of you who are new to the channel. And these are the two most important EMAs that we use here. We also sometimes use the 35 EMA, the 80 EMA, the 100, the 200, and the 150 EMAs. But right now we have the 55, and as you can see, each time you run into it, you get rejected back down. So if you have bought in from the support levels that I gave you, and I did give you this support level a couple of weeks ago at 0.0058350, and it was met perfectly. We even wicked a little bit below that. So if you got in there and you're looking to take some profits and you want to sell your Multivac, right? For those of you who don't want to sell, you don't need to be looking at any resistance levels in the short to mid term. But for those of you who are looking for a flip or to take some profits, or you need to sell because of your financial situation or whatever, you may have that opportunity at the 55 EMA. So from where you got in, potentially here at this support, that's a 65% trade, right? So if you got in anywhere in this little ascending triangle that we have playing out over here, so you'd be up around about 46% if you want to take some profits at the 55 EMA. Obviously, we have to get through the 20 before that, and we have to get through the 786 Fibonacci retracement, because if I zoom out, you can see that this is a Fibonacci retracement that we're holding that we need to break through right now. And as you can see, once we broke through here, we haven't had that back test of support. We back tested it over here, but ended up breaking down once again. So if we break through the 786 right now, what we need to see is a healthy back test of support. Then we attack the 55 EMA, and then we have to back test that as support as well. But like I said, there's a chance that we get rejected back down from the 55 EMA. Now, long term, we are looking at 20 cents for Multivac by the peak of the bull market. Obviously, we may get overextended and get to $1 to $2, right? Nobody knows how far Multivac can go, but I do have my personal targets, and I do use the Fibonacci retracement as nice targets. And the 1.618 is the target after you start breaking this swing high over here, which is the previous all-time high at 0.0186 cents. Before that, this is just a number for you. But after you break this level, you back test it as support, then you're looking at the 1.618. You do have two targets before that, the 1.272 and the 1.414, which is at the 0.0917 cents. At the 1.272 is at 0.0528 cents. So those are some take profit zones for you as well. But I'm going to be selling the majority of my coins at around about 20 cents, right? Even a bit below that, because I don't want to be sitting with my coins when we get into the bear market. If you have Ethereum and you have Bitcoin, then sitting through a bear market isn't that scary. But with a lot of these low cap altcoins, it is kind of scary. And Multivac is a great project, but that doesn't mean that it's going to survive the bear market, right? I mean, hopefully it will. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So if we are going to chart the technical target from this triangle over here, then it would be roughly somewhere above the 786 over here, and potentially by the time we start breaking out, the 55 EMA could have creeped up, and we're actually going to hit our head on the 55 once again. So yeah, we're looking at the 786 and the 55 EMA as our major targets right now on the daily chart. Now let's jump into the RSI here on the daily chart. So as you can see, we are potentially looking for this green trend line to be our resistance, right? And this is potentially where you're going to see yourself run into if you're going to get a rejection. And this can co-align with a rejection from the 55 EMA on the daily chart, right? you can use both of these as nice indicators for when the price is going to reverse to the downside. So potentially if you start breaking out on the RSI and you see yourself do something like this and you go in a straight parabola to the upside, don't buy. Why? Don't buy. I don't recommend buying while you see these huge spikes to the upside. You may run into the green trend line, back test the white trend line as support, and from there you continue on. But you have to keep in mind Bitcoin is the king of all the cryptocurrencies, and your altcoin can be in a bullish pattern. It can start breaking to the upside, but if Bitcoin craps the bed, everything goes down with it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Hopefully we don't see any more pullbacks, but I'm afraid that we're going to have another pullback to $30,000 in my opinion. So they're going to liquidate all the shorts right now, and we're potentially going to come back down and liquidate all the longs. But that's just my opinion, you know, I may be absolutely wrong over here. So let's jump into KuCoin on the 4-hourly and the daily chart over there so we can take a look at some of the oscillators. Now jumping to the 4-hourly chart on KuCoin, you can see that we are in a falling wedge here, and this is a bullish reversal pattern. So potentially what happens with these patterns is you end up coming down to the apex over here, and then you start breaking out aggressively, and your target is going to be where the wedge was created, which is over here. So the wedge was created at, I'm going to give you the price for that right now. Let me just remove the drawings over here. Okay, and the price tag, there we go. That's going to be 0.022 cents. So from where we are right now, that is a 226% trade. So we'll see if that plays out. Obviously, we can start dumping from here if Bitcoin, you know, breaks to the downside, then we can back test this as resistance and you basically invalidate the pattern. So we'll see what happens, but I would advise you buy from the support of this support line of the falling wedge, right? So here you potentially can take profits, buy back, take profits, buy back, take profits, but eventually you're going to break out, right? Because you don't know when you're going to break out. That's why it's risky to sell at this resistance. But you can see that we've had a back test of this resistance 3 times right now. And each time you run into it, you get rejected back to the downside. So potentially look for that and look for a rejection. If you're holding for the long term, I wouldn't advise risking because, you know, we are nearing the bottom, right? We may come back down to 30K. We may consolidate in the 30K range. We may even dump down to $28.5 thousand, but you don't know if that's going to happen. We are, you know, getting closer and closer to the end of this correction, and it does seem like we're going to have an explosive 2022. So it would be, you know, kind of dumb, I should say, if you take the majority of the profits right now, and in a couple of months everything will appreciate by three times. So yeah, just make sure you know what you're doing. Now jumping into the 4-hourly stochastic RSI. So now the stochastic is in the overbought. I wouldn't recommend getting into Multivac right at this moment because let's wait until it gets down to the oversold over here on the 4-hourly stochastic below the index of 20. That would be a great entry point. The 4-hourly RSI, as you can see, was overbought here on the 4-hourly chart, and this was a great take profit zone for you. Then you got oversold, which was a great entry point for you, and from there you can see that you have appreciated already. So make sure to pay attention to the RSI, and the MACD just printed a bullish cross on the 4-hourly chart, and we'll see if we see another leg up with Multivac because the markets are looking a bit healthy right now, but I just think that we may end up liquidating all the shorts and then dropping back down to 30K. That's what I think is going to happen. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we start recovering to the all-time highs very, very soon. And let's jump into the daily stochastic for a quick little glance. All right, so the MACD on the daily chart just printed a bullish cross, and this is good. So this is our confirmation indicator. So this is the confirmation of the start of the uptrend. And this is a lagging indicator, obviously, because the uptrend should start first, and then you will have the confirmation. As you can see, you're moving to the upside over here. We're in that ascending triangle that I showed you on the TradingView chart at the start of the video. And jumping into the stochastic on the daily chart, as you can see, you're just now recovering from the oversold, and you will be looking at something similar to this and this. So this is, if you are looking to take profits, this is where you want to be taking profits. So wait for the stochastic to come up over here like this, impulsively sell over here, and then buy back if you're, looking to do that when you get oversold once again. So that's pretty much it. And have all these patterns drawn out on your chart, have all these oscillators on your chart as well. They're very helpful. And obviously no one can predict the market. There are some people in the comments saying that TA is like, poking your finger in the sky and saying that, Bitcoin is going to be this in 3 months or anything or something like that. But, technical analysis is not about predicting the future. It's about being ready for both outcomes. We're ready if it's going to pump, we know where our resistance levels are, and if we're going to dump, we know where our support levels are. So that's what technical analysis is, because some people have the misunderstanding that it's about predicting the future and telling exactly what's going to happen, which is not the case at all. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to check out our Twitter. We do have a Twitter where I post technical analysis on some of the coins that we don't follow usually on the channel, and some of the coins that we do follow. Also, we have a Telegram chat with a great community and a great community in the Discord server as well. And we do have a Patreon, which is a great way to support me and a great way for me to give back to those who support me. We have low cap gem calls. We recently did a sentiment analysis in the Patreon. You get video and TA requests, all that good stuff is in there. Make sure to check it out. Links are in the description. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.